guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be making some brown sugar scrub bars and a whipped body butter to go with those sugar scrub bars. Everything that you see right here is linked below in the description. You're going to need some brown sugar, jojoba oil, beeswax, avocado oil, some essential oil for scent, shea butter, coconut oil, cocoa butter, sweet almond oil, a container to put your whipped body butter in. This is just a mason jar. I use mason jars for everything you could possibly think of. And then of course I have our sticker from my handy dandy sticker printer. And then some molds for your silicone, or some silicone molds for your sugar scrub bars. That makes sense. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start with the brown sugar scrub bars. What you're gonna need for those is a half a cup of cocoa butter, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of beeswax, and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. You're also going to need some essential oil. This is an essential oil blend I make myself. This blend is lavender, sweet orange, and frankincense, but you can use whatever scent that you want your sugar scrub bars to be. Also a mold, and then a glass container because we are going to be melting the butter and oil together, so I'm going to make a double boiler. Get your pot of water, turn your heat onto medium, high. And then you're just gonna put your cocoa butter and your beeswax into the glass container to melt together first. Give that a good little mix and then just put that in your water, and we're just gonna wait for that to melt. Now, what I will say about these sugar scrub bars is they are very, very rich and they are very moisturizing because they are mostly cocoa butter. So you really want to make sure when picking out a mold for these, you pick out a small mold. These are meant to be 1 or 2 use sugar scrub bars. And the way that I like to use them is I use the scrub bar first and then I use a body wash or a soap on top of that, because the cocoa butter really kind of leaves a little bit of a residue on your skin. So the soap is going to take off that residue but leave in all the moisture that it gives your skin. So just saying, don't overdo it with them. Really, a little goes a long way. And then go ahead and just give that a stir once it's almost done, and then you can add your coconut oil. Okay, once that's melted together, go ahead and put it aside, make sure it cools a little bit, and then you're gonna go ahead and add your essential oil. I'm gonna be adding 20 drops of this essential oil blend. Give that a good mix. And then you're gonna add your sugar. If you have your sugar in a little puck like I do over here, just make sure you drop it in gently because the oil and butter is still kind of hot. You will burn yourself, so just be careful, slow and steady. And then give that a mix until all the sugar is combined with the oil. When you pour it into your mold, you're gonna have to push the sugar in a little bit with the oil. That's totally fine. Now you're gonna let these harden for 20-30 minutes and they are done and ready to use. Now we are going to go ahead and move on to the whipped body butters. So make sure you have your pot of water, turn your stove on to medium-high heat. And what you're going to need along with your glass container is a 1/4 cup of cocoa butter, a 1/4 cup of shea butter, a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and 4 tablespoons of sweet almond oil. And then whatever essential oil that you're going to be using, I'm going to be using the same blend that I am for the sugar scrub bars because I like to use them together, so I just have them smell the same. And then you're just going to add your butters and your coconut oil into your glass container. I always use these fancy little jars that are pretty for the oils, but realistically it's like super hard to scoop them out. Alright, and then just put them in your pot of water and just kind of leave them to melt together. I really like body butter, but I like to whip it specifically because it just ends up a lot silkier. Once it's all melted together, you can just pour your sweet almond oil into there and make sure it's nice and combined. Now that that's fully melted together, you can go ahead and turn your stovetop off, take this off the heat. You are going to take this mixture now and you are going to add your essential oil into it. I'm adding about 25 drops in this one. And then give it a good mix to make sure it's nice and incorporated. Okay, now that that's all done, you are going to take this and you're going to pour it into a glass bowl that you are then going to put in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours until it hardens. Okay, and we want it to harden so that we are able to whip it. Now that I have my mixture right here, this is what it should look like. Okay, now I would leave it out at room temperature after the fridge for maybe 30 minutes so that your fingerprint imprints into it. Okay, see how it's kind of soft still? That's the consistency that you want. Now, you can use a hand mixer by all means. I don't like them. I feel like it just makes more of a mess. I just use a fork because, quite frankly, I think it's easier and faster to whip it with a fork. And then just make sure you have your container on standby. So you're just gonna take it and keep mixing it like this, and you're gonna notice it's gonna get softer and fluffier and silkier. That's what you want. It's gonna kind of look like hummus, if that's a good picture that you wanted in your head, of spreading hummus all over yourself. Anyway, once it gets to that consistency, just take your container and scoop it in there. And see how it becomes runny and it's kind of like frosting? It's so soft, guys. Like, the texture is just so silky, smooth. It feels so nice to put on your skin. And that's it, you're done. So what I like to do is use the sugar scrub bars and then the whipped body butter. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out our other videos, and I will see you guys next time.